The powers that be, what's it about? Cut! Action! We discovered that there's this planet that has priors that are starting to make inroads into it, and we find out that Vala has already had a relationship with the people on this planet. We go to visit the planet. We're surprised by one of the people that is worshiping at the temple. We're sneaking around the temple, and Azdak comes in, and we find out that Vala has been masquerading on this planet as a Goa'uld god, the great god Katesh. So we're in Norco, in our throne room scene. And we're just setting up for a last bit of coverage on a lengthy scene, a lot of dialogue, a lot of coverage, and it takes a little bit of time because each shot has to be really, really good. This is scene 11, the throne room. We find Vala packing up all of her belongings because, you know, she's been stealing stuff all across the galaxy. The boys come in, find her packing up all this stuff. They're a little miffed at her. They got bigger things to fry in this episode. What happens after that? Let me check my notes. We decide a best way to prove that the priors are not the gods that they should be is for her to come clean and show that she's a false god. The minute she does that, they toss her in jail. Mitchell convinces the Azdak that there should be a trial. The Maldoran, which is what Val used to do, Vala Maldoran being her name.
That sounds fitting. We're gonna hold a Maldoran!
They hold the Maldoran. In the midst of this, the prior comes. Big bad evil prior. It's the good versus evil. The prior who's been healing the sick, and the SG-1 trying to, you know, tell them about knowledge and understanding of technology. Is you can learn about these things. We can help you learn. It's one of those, it's not a happy ending to this thing. We understand the power of the priors now. Because everybody's getting sick. The prior touches somebody, causes this huge, horrible sickness that decimates most of the villagers. Mitchell gets sick. The SG-1 is overwhelmed. They can't possibly help this planet. Their technology isn't going to save them. A lot of sick people here in this room. Things aren't going very well for them. Hazmat people are trying to help, but if you look real close, it's all open under here. And frequently during the take, if they get an itch, they'll reach underneath and scratch, which kind of blows the whole hazmat thing. You've got to keep an eye for that.
This is hazmat hair.
That's good.
Yeah, it's hazmat hair.
Look, it did it right there. In the end, the prior comes back. SG-1, they try to attack him, they can't. He puts his staff in the ground, the great white light heals everybody on the planet. I mean, this is fabulous, but also horrible. He can heal everybody that he's made sick. And in the end, he walks away, and instead of our standard closing push in on our heroes as they save the day, we pull away from our heroes. And the last shot is we're pulling away from them, and they're standing there, they're dumbstruck. They don't have the technology to defeat what the prior has. Claudia Black is fantastic. I mean, she brings so much to what she does. I'll have a little idea of how I want to do things, and we'll do an actor rehearsal, and she would just add so much to it. Just say, well, what about this? Or, you know, I feel that I should move more over here, make this more of an aside. And you think about it, you go, well, she's right. Give and take. And the feelings that she brought out in her emotion, she brings such a level of intensity to that. You totally believe what she's feeling. I mean, you can feel the pain inside her that she can't heal these people anymore. Or when Azdak dies. When he's dead, that's genuine emotion that we are seeing in her, watching that in every take. You get that tear running down her eye. I don't know how she does that, but it's fantastic. Greg Anderson, I thought, was fabulous in this. I told Greg that he should have a lot of fun with his part. I mean, he's a preacher. He's an oracle. I mean, it's not his fault. He's bad, but he should be very captivating, and he was. What I really liked is the first entrance when we first see the fact that Greg Anderson has turned from preacher to an actual prior with the white face. That entrance shot was very cool. With him being dark against the white background, and he comes in, takes off the hood, and drops the camera, and we see him, the bright white face against the black background. It's kind of a neat composition. But he's a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun shooting him. Well, we're in the sand dunes in Richmond, and as you can see around you, you've got huge sand dunes, and we're in the toilet. We got about an hour and a bit of sun, a lot of ways to go. But we're gonna pull it out. You wait and see. And if we don't, he'll be interviewing someone else tomorrow. The sand dunes that we shot at, it's quite a different and a difficult location. Essentially, in our wide shots, you see the totality of what we have that's shootable. You got 3 sides that are bermed in with about 30-foot high sand dunes. Outside of those berms, there's parking lots for these industries that have been cropping up out there. Behind the camera, you know, a stone's throw away are 2 D9 Caterpillars flattening out the ground for the next development. So all day long, you can hear these cats going back and forth, grunk, 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 ruining the soundtrack at every other take. So you've got these close mic'd presence, you've got to loop a lot of the dialogue, there's nothing you can do about that. You've got airplanes going overhead. You've got this beautiful sand that when you go and scout is pristine and perfect, but the night before, dirt bikers will have come through and run up and down the whole place, and all the berms are covered in dirt bike tracks. So you spend the first hour of your day brooming out dirt bike tracks. What else is horrible about that place? The wind comes up and it'd have a hard time using your crane, but we got lucky there because we got a really beefy crane. Other than that, it's a fabulous location. In the desert, Vala comes out and decides she's going to shoot the prior with the P90, and the bullets stop in midair in front of the prior. And it's a very simple visual effect to do. We show her shooting, so that we've seen her shooting. We do a shot of the prior that's locked off. Nothing happens within that shot. We send that to VisFX. They will then have the bullets coming in, stopping in midair, hitting a little force field, dropping. Then we'll shoot a shot of the sand, and we'll drop little bullets into the sand. Once you marry all of them together, you instantly see that. But the actual shooting of an effect like that is quite an easy one, technically from our end. The one that would be more difficult, and probably a little more fun to watch, is at the end when the prior sticks his staff in the ground, and the big white light comes out from the staff in the end. Goes out, healing everybody. That one, we set that up with, we have the big crane shot where we rise up over top, showing the ring of people all bowing down, you know, kind of my ode to like 70s, religious fanatic movies. The staff goes into the ground, and in camera as we're shooting that, each person reacting to the staff, we would, cheap camera trick, we just open the aperture up so the image gets blown out to white. VisFX will then take that footage and augment it further and make the white happen from the source being the staff. We have the wide shot that will then continue that whiting out, all as a VisFX. Then there's the matte painting jumping back where the white light would come back over the pyramid. Then we go to a practical effect of a big ass light on a scissor lift for Mitchell, having the light wake up on him. So when he's lying on the cot and the light's fading off of him, what do I see when my cut? Bunch of shots that say VisFX to follow, But when it's all married together, it should give the right effect. It was challenging in that you've got pages and pages and pages that take place within the Maldoran, the courtroom scene. And the real difficulty in shooting that is keeping it visually interesting. You gotta get 1 or 2 sexy shots in. You can get 1 sexy shot in a day, that's 7 sexy shots that you got in your little show. I mean, we've got fabulous actors, and you can just point the camera at them, put them against a gray wall, and it's gonna be great. But you just want to keep it rolling along, so you're shooting all your stuff from one side. The next day you find a way to cross the axis and shoot everything from the other side, constantly moving the sun around within the set to just keep it visually alive. Well, my background is as a camera operator, and making the transition from camera operating to directing is an interesting one because there's no school for it, there's no handbook for it, you're just stuck into it. I know everything there is about where to put the camera and operating the camera and the technical aspects of that. Then you ask for, hey, I'd like to direct one. They say, sure, here you go. So like, well, okay, I watched this guy do this, and okay, I'll make some little pictures here. And the first few I did, I had these massive storyboards in my script. Just as how when you read something, you kind of get a vision in your head of how you want to see it done. And then you just try to figure out on the day how you're going to do that. And now, my storyboard's getting a little more sketchy, a little less so, and it's sort of more of it's percolating up in the head. But having the camera background, it just helps me sort of line up how I want to see shots. I like to keep a very strong visual flow as you're watching the story. I mean, the most important thing, obviously, is tell the story. What's the story about? Get the information across. But you also want to have a visual flow to that, and that's in your choices of whether you shoot handheld or, you choose to use the Steadicam or you choose to use the crane, because each one of those brings a different sort of feeling, visceral kind of how you react to seeing that. I think that kind of stuff kind of helps. Absolutely happy. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. The interesting thing about a lot of these episodes is when you finish shooting the entire script, you deliver something that's 10 minutes longer than what you actually see in the DVD or in the thing. And there's a lot of scenes that end up on the floor, which would be nice, you know, at some point to see, but you never do. But there's a lot of material that gets cut out.
This is actually on Will Waring, so you know, say good things about Will.
Who?
What's the story about? Well, I can't remember what the story is about.
Dot.